Okay, so get this right. What if I told you about someone whose heart, like, completely stopped? Not for a few seconds, not for a minute, but for over an hour. And then they didn't just survive, they actually made a full recovery.
Sounds unbelievable, right? You'd think that's straight out of a medical drama or something.
Totally, but it's a true story. And that's exactly what we're diving into today. The story of Jacqueline Alston, a grandmother from Braintree who experienced this, well, medical miracle. It really makes you wonder what the human body is capable of, you know?
Yeah, it really does. I mean, imagine your heart just stopping for, get this, 1 hour and 7 minutes. That's longer than most TV show episodes.
Seriously, that's wild. So let's rewind back to that day. What led to this whole incredible situation?
So picture this. It's May, Jacqueline's driving on Dunmow Road, and suddenly, boom, she loses consciousness. Her car veers off and crashes into a telegraph pole. It could have been a very different story if not for these two amazing bystanders, Andy Fleming and Adrian Rowell. They saw the whole thing, rushed to her car, and managed to pull her out through the sunroof. Talk about quick thinking under pressure.
Talk about heroes in everyday life, right? It's like something you'd see in a movie.
Exactly. And what's even more remarkable is that the timing was just, well, incredible. Two community police officers, Sergeant Rob Fitt and PC Tom Bagley, were patrolling nearby. They got the call and arrived at the scene in no time.
Like, talk about being in the right place at the right time, huh?
Right, but wait, there's more. It turns out a trained medic, Mark Johnson, was just passing by. Imagine that. Suddenly you have this, dream team of everyday citizens and skilled professionals all ready to help.
So, like, a whole bunch of people just came together to help her.
Yep. They immediately started performing CPR, and they had a defibrillator on hand, which was crucial. These devices, deliver an electric shock to the heart, trying to get it back into a normal rhythm. They're becoming increasingly common in public places, and stories like Jacqueline's show why.
I think it's amazing how technology can make such a huge difference in these situations. So what happened after all this?
Jacqueline was rushed to Basildon Hospital and put on life support. Her husband, Gary, was, you can imagine, absolutely beside himself with worry. The doctors, honestly, they weren't optimistic. When the brain doesn't get oxygen for so long, like in Jacqueline's case, the damage can be, well, really severe.
So did she make it? What happened next?
Hold on to your hats, because this is where it gets truly mind-blowing. After 4 whole days, Jacqueline opened her eyes. She regained consciousness. Can you believe that?
Wow, that's incredible. What a fighter.
She was then transferred to a couple of different hospitals for further treatment. And finally, listen to this, in December, she walked out of the hospital and returned home to Braintree, fully recovered.
That is just, unbelievable. Her husband must have been over the moon.
Oh, absolutely. He called it a miracle, and frankly, it's hard to describe it as anything else. But the story gets even more heartwarming. Later on, Jacqueline had this incredibly emotional reunion with the officers who helped save her life. Everyone was, well, let's just say there wasn't a dry eye in the house.
I can only imagine. So, after hearing all this, what's the takeaway? What can we learn from Jacqueline's experience?
Well, for me, it really highlights the importance of community, the power of people stepping up, being prepared, and never losing hope. Think about it. Those bystanders, the officers, the medic, the hospital staff, each one played a vital role in this miracle.
It makes you realize that sometimes, even in the direst situations, things can turn around, right?
Exactly. It really does make you think, what can we do to be more prepared for unexpected events? Maybe learn CPR, advocate for more defibrillators in our communities, even just spreading awareness about these things. That in itself could make a world of difference. It really shows you that sometimes, even when all hope seems lost, the most unexpected things can happen. And every single action, no matter how small, can have a ripple effect with incredible results.
So for anyone listening, think about this. What can you do, even in a small way, to maybe be someone else's miracle?
That's a powerful thought, isn't it? It shows you the potential each of us has to make a difference. Sometimes it's just about being in the right place at the right time, being willing to act, and having a little bit of hope.